Welcome back to Gridlocked, everyone. It is episode 4, and we're less than 24 hours away from Alliance Tournament XXI. It is about time we start looking at the upcoming weekend and talk about what's going to happen. For that, we have brought Aras, Bart Pirate, and CCP Overload. All of these you will see on the desk this weekend. Let's just discuss the Alliance Tournament talent staff for a little bit. Ali, can you introduce who you are and what you're doing here?
Yeah, hi, I'm Aras. I've been playing in the Alliance Tournament for a number of years, primarily focusing on logistics, captained the Of Sound Mine team, and then participated in the Brave team. And what I'm doing here is I'm yapping about the Alliance Tournament. So I have come out to Iceland along with Bart Pirate and several other folks. We are going to be explaining what's going on the screen, because if you haven't watched the Alliance Tournament before, and even if you have, it can be very confusing just watching a bunch of little ships, HP bars, stuff like that. And we're here to help you understand what's going on and hype up the action.
I can confirm I would be so lost if I hadn't you guys telling me through what's happening here. Bart, what about you?
Sure. So I'm Bart Pirate. I've been doing tournaments since, 2018, 2017, something like that. We were just talking about that. So it's coming up on getting close to a decade. For that, I played in tournaments a bit. Not a huge amount, a couple years of it. And I'm here to keep him honest, because otherwise he will use like 6 times as many puns, and everybody will just be like, "Okay, we're done. Turn it off." So I'm here.
That's what the viewers want.
No, okay, well, it's not what I want. I'm here to look at you and be like, and make just like kind of be disappointed every time you say something crazy. So. Yeah, but I'm a yapper. I'm one of the many. Hopefully, I provide information that's useful, and if not, at least hopefully I continue giving Twitch chat what it really wants, which are memes and memeable moments.
Yeah, I mean, if we're not useful, at least we can be entertaining and funny. That is the aim
This is
of
true.
the Alliance
That's
Tournament
the
cast.
actual reason why we're here. Yeah.
And we're not going to let CCP Overload hang in. Can you also please introduce yourself again?
Hello. Hello. I'm CCP Overload. I've also been doing this for quite some time. I've been hosting it since Alliance Tournament 16 now, so this is plus Alliance Open. It's like 7 or 8 major tournaments, but this will be the first time since Alliance Tournament 16 that there'll be desk segments without me on them, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to be just such a backseat driver. It's going to be incredible, like absolutely incredible.
So just like for reference, I was making the schedule for the staffing, and I put Ali here on as a host because CCP Overload deserves a break, right?
No.
Well, he thought it's needed. He didn't think so either, because he came to me and he was like, "I'm not on. What do I do? Just put me in a commentating slot, please. Give me something to do."
You should put CCP Overload in a commentating slot so that he can't be like looking at me and like judging me the entire time I'm on the...
I'm gonna have a whiteboard behind the cameras. I'm gonna be like writing stuff and like.
Yeah. Oh no, that was a 7.5. You can do better.
Yeah,
We'll just lock him
snap
away.
Just snap room in
Yeah.
between. Yeah.
Let's go sleep. Yeah. Yeah.
But not everyone's going to be a host. We have like a variety of different roles for which we have flown in people.
Mm-hmm.
We call them talent staff because they are very talented at what they do. Most of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can be nice to them, you know?
No.
So we have production staff. They will help us make sure the broadcast goes off as planned.
Yep.
We have observers. That's the people that give you the nice shots of the arena.
Yep. And the fun thing about the observers, just quickly on them, is there are 2 camps of people watching out there, and they both hate each other venomously. Camp 1 is the camera should be zoomed in so we can see all the cool ships and explosions. And Camp 2 is the camera should be zoomed out so we can see all the stuff on the field at the same time. Whenever either is on, the other one is complaining. So whatever observer you are, dear talent out there, one half of the crowd will hate you. Just accept that.
Just don't listen to them. It's fine.
Yeah,
You're doing a great job.
Half of the crowd is wrong, but I won't say which half.
Then we have commentators. These are the people, when the match is live, you'll see them in the bottom, probably left corner. My left and right is really bad. Please help.
I haven't seen the setup
Right
yet.
corner, I think, if it's the same as last year.
It's
Alright.
one of the 4 corners.
Yeah.
One of the corners on the screen.
It
It
may
will
be
never
in the
be in the
middle.
middle.
So there's 6. No, it won't be in the middle. Yeah. What are you
It will-
talking about? Why do we get this guy?
It can't be in the middle. That's where the
It
fancy
could
is. All right, anyway. That's where you'll see them and they'll commentate on the live match. And then we have analysts who will be on the desk with CCP Overload or Ali.
Mhm.
And we have our host, CCP Overload and Ali.
It's awesome. There's so many incredibly talented people that come to do this with us. We're very lucky. Like, we have people who have competed in tournament-winning teams. We have people that have captained tournament-winning teams. We have people who have been doing like the back-end production of these tournaments now for best part of 10 years, including running multiple Alliance tournaments as players and the Alliance Open. We have like some of the best stats people out there building all the graphics and tools and live analysis that's going on. We have a bunch of people who are just like super helpful, like just keeping the show running on the day. There's a lot of things that need to go right, and there's a very strict schedule. So we're very lucky to have such an experienced crew. I remember doing this the first time we did EVNT back in like 15, 16. We were not the experienced crew. We were just a bunch of players trying to run an Alliance tournament, and it was a lot of fun, but it was chaos.
But just look at what you started.
Yes, it's so much more smooth now. It's incredible. Like the teams have grown. Like the level of talent in the teams that we see every year increases every year. The production talent from the people making the show has grown. The speaker talent of people casting matches and on the desk has grown. It really is awesome, I think, because it should be a good Alliance tournament that we can look forward to.
I am looking forward to it a lot. And the good thing is, because I have you guys can tell me what is going to happen this weekend.
Well, my prediction is that we'll see some ships will explode. Converse to that, there will be some ships which do not explode, so keep an eye out for those. Those are the important ones. And we may see some boundary violations.
I hope we see boundary violations.
We're going to see boundary violations.
Yeah.
We may see some of those. But that's all I can concretely predict. Explosions and some non-explosions.
So these are 100% guaranteed.
100% guaranteed explosions. Nash Cadaver out there suddenly just sat up because he once guaranteed 100% guaranteed explosions. There was none. It was a tie, like a 0-0 tie.
Even in overtime? Zero explosions?
0-0, nothing. Just
What?
and it was a show match as well, and it was like for a particular thing, and he was like, explosions guaranteed. Cut to the match, 15 minutes of just nothing, and then comes back to him. He's like, well.
So if this happens again, we will all go and blame CCP Overload because he's jinxed it.
No, because I'll just blow one up.
There
You
you
don't
go.
have to post. You're on a desk. You don't have time to do this.
I have time.
He will make time.
Yeah.
But seriously, do you think we have 32 teams left?
Mhm.
I want to hear some predictions from you. What do you think is going to make it?
So
Doesn't have to be first place. Just like
yeah, my hot take, I've been saying this sort of behind the scenes. I think this is the year where Goonswarm might do fairly well at the Alliance tournament. They have historically come in and maybe not done so well, but have had quite a lot of enthusiasm. This year, we saw them do pretty well in feeders. They picked up some new pilots, and they have what could be a fairly solid core.
isn't this the first time they made it to the main tournament?
Oh, no,
For
they
a
made it
while.
last year. They
Yeah,
made it
yeah.
last year. They were in last year.
Don't even remember that.
Yeah.
I mean, traditionally, what happens is the way the Alliance tournament goes is if Goons get in, we sit before the Alliance tournament going, this is the year. And then it's not the year. And then we go forward a year, and it's also going, well, the Goons are in again. This is the year. And I think we've just been on that train for a while. But this could be the year.
Is this actually going to be the year?
That's where I'm putting my money and channel
I'm not
points.
putting my money anywhere near it. I want them to win. I'd love to see the Goons do really well. I'd love to see the Goons win an Alliance tournament. I think that would be incredible.
To be clear, they're not winning the Alliance
No,
tournament.
they're not.
One of
I
the
agree with
teams
that.
that's previously won the Alliance tournament is going to win.
I mean, like
yeah.
when we saw, for example, a couple of years ago, we saw Fraternity win the Alliance tournament. It was the first time in quite a while we'd seen a brand new Alliance come in and take the top prize. And it was an upset as well over the Tuskers, last year's champions. So I would love to see something like that as well. Like there's some dark horses, like you mentioned, Goons. I think there's a couple more like maybe Test Alliance can do something. They're in as well. Soldaris is a great captain. They have some good pilots. So we'll see. I think they have a tough matchup. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I remember looking at it going, So we shall see.
If we roll back a little bit, what do teams need to do? Where do they need to be to win prizes?
Top 16. So you need to win 2 matches. If you win your first 2 matches, you're in top 16. And you're getting prize ships. Not just prizes,
Yeah.
prize ships. And the prize ships this year are pretty cool. The prize blog's out now. I recommend checking it out.
It's gone out about an hour ago,
Went out about an
and
hour
I think
ago.
we have a really, really cool video showing off the prize ships.
Oh,
If
even
we
better.
can pull that up.
So obviously, I just want to say one of them, based on the Tech 3 Destroyer, has its normal modes, right? The one based on the Battle Cruiser also has T3D style modes. It has 3 modes you can swap between. I think that's going to be
the
incredible.
ITC has gone slightly insane.
Yes.
But it's amazing.
Yes. I recommend checking out the stats. I think it's going to be cool. I think it's going to be super cool.
So this is what you can win if you make
Yes.
top 16.
Yep, top 16, and you're getting prize ship, baby.
So is Goonswarm going to get a prize ship?
It could be possible.
I mean, whatever anyone else says, they're in my opinion, they're a top 32 team.
You're not wrong.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
guaranteed.
Bart, what do you think?
Oh, not that. Yeah. I don't know. I was talking to just talking to a couple people about Goons, and apparently they actually have a sponsor this year. So they actually have Goonswarm money. Traditionally, they've never had any, which has been a problem. I don't know how they find the only 10 poor members of Goonswarm to make a team out of, but they somehow do it every single year. They looked pretty dang good in the feeders, which usually, like, if they make it through, you're kind of like, I don't know if you guys should be here. But this time they're looking good. I don't know if they're going to get prize ships. You only got to win 2 matches, right? But then you only have to win, like, what, 7 or 8 matches to win the whole tournament?
Yeah, assuming you
So,
don't
like,
lose at any point.
Just don't lose and you win.
Yep.
Which
It is that easy.
It's always been that easy.
Yeah.
And
Why
yet
do teams
somehow-
not simply win?
Yeah, why don't you just win every match?
Because every match needs a loser. It's how it works.
Yeah,
Unless it's a tie.
unless it's a tie.
Unless it's a tie.
I don't think we.
In which case we have tiebreakers.
No. But we did have last year one of my favorite matches of all time, the pacifist run. We had a team win a match without killing a single ship because the other team brought 199 points instead of 200.
Yep.
And it would have been a tie
But it
or
wasn't.
go to overtime. But because of the 1 point difference, nothing died, but one team won.
I think that could actually happen more this year.
I hope
Because
so.
the way that the points were done, which is cool because it makes it a lot easier to theory craft, in my opinion. Like, but you're also going to see a lot more teams that'll be like down 1, 2, 3, 4 points because we don't have the duplicate inflation point rule thing, which opened up a lot of interesting setups. And I think it also makes things easier. But we're also going to see a lot more underpointed teams, which isn't a bad thing. Usually if you saw underpointed, it's like, ooh, they messed up. But this time I think it's kind of like, they might be, 197, 198. That also
Maybe on
leaves those
purpose is what you're
opportunities.
saying.
Oh, yeah. On purpose because it's like, well, this ship is better than this ship and it's slightly less points is how it is. So that could happen more. I think there's a very real possibility, just that plus a couple other changes, that there might be some very long pacifist-y matches where nothing dies, and it's going to turn out somebody's going to be like, why didn't we bring this ship? It was worth 1 more point and it would have won it for us. So, but hey, hindsight, right? Not our problem. We're just going to be like, ooh.
You get to judge.
There will be judgment.
Yes.
There will be so much judgment.
That's our job.
It is literally
You
what
will
we're
be
here for.
judged.
You will be judged. Possibly incorrectly. Probably incorrectly, but you will be judged.
If you're in a team that is losing the match, the trick is to be the only surviving pilot, because we usually praise that person.
This is true.
Because they were better than the rest of their team. They survived.
Clearly.
Everyone
yeah.
else
Yeah.
lost. So we send
And
that
then
person
we'll
back to
cheer
their
them
team to
on.
tell them to think about what they did and get good.
Or we cheer them on to go for the boundary.
Depends on the ship they're in. Sometimes it's very funny if they try that. I think the current boundary record is still 232.5 as they're in Argent. Swarm Federation. They're winning at that, at least. So
A win is a win.
win is a win. So maybe someone can pip them this year, get to 233. Or
Would be
beyond.
really nice to see. Now, for newer players watching, because that is what this show is for, are there any teams we need to look out for? Any things that in the past have done interesting things, interesting plays?
So last year's champions, of course, the Tuskers. Definitely keep an eye on them. They fly really well. They're very good at execution. They tend to be a little bit different in theory crafting, coming up with slightly different metas than many of the other top teams. They're exciting to watch because of this, especially if they get into the best of matches. Also keep an eye out for some of the best teams out there. Teams like Truth on a Light, regardless of what year it is, we can expect them to do well. We'd expect them to bring high-end stuff and execute it extremely well. So if you're new to the tournament, you want to watch teams to see what they're bringing, how they're executing it, how they're piloting. Those are 2 teams really to keep an eye on.
Yeah, I would say Nerve.
Nerve are good, yeah.
That's, from what I understand, most of them it's kind of the fraternity team of 2 years ago that won. and they kind of split off and made their own thing, which is going to confuse some people because Fraternity also has a team in the tournament, which is called Fraternity. And then there's Nerve, which is a lot of the Fraternity guys who won the tournament who made their own team. So they looked really good in the feeders, so I'm expecting them to continue to look good. Pretty much, honestly, if you just look at the feeders and go watch them, if you see a team that just like completely stomps somebody, those are the teams you want to watch for like, oh, what's this supposed to look like? If you're like me and you want to watch people kind of flail around a bit, go to the feeders and find the people that like barely snuck through, because that's very entertaining. Like, especially if you're like, okay, well, what's a good comp? Go find the teams that like barely made it through, or specifically the teams that are out. Look at that and be like, okay, what did they do wrong? Because like this is a learning thing, right? Look at what people did and succeeded and like 200-0'd. Look at the teams that lost, figure out why that happened, and then you'll be ahead of, honestly, a lot of people, including some of the pilots. It is what it is. I mean, some comps are just, don't bring them.
Yeah, one team that I'm excited to watch that we haven't talked about yet, Rage Quit Cancel Sub. They were a top 4 team last year, and this year I know they've picked up a couple of extra pilots, it seems like, and they did very well in the Charity Cup 2 tournament that immediately preceded this one. So I expect that they're going to put a very dominant performance in this time, and they seem like it's a team that really wants to try to make a winning run, and I hope they do well. To Bart's point, if you find the teams that are sort of consistently putting up some numbers in the Alliance, they consistently get into the Alliance tournament, but they don't necessarily make it that far, you can see some sort of solid comps that maybe have a couple of execution gaps.
Yeah, we say quite a lot. The most exciting matches are either two really, really good teams going up against each other or two pretty suboptimal teams going up against each other, because either way you have a close match because they're equally matched. Like it's not quite as entertaining when one team just comes in and curb stomps the other one. So it's always interesting to see these sort of mid-table teams come in, because they are, like we said, fighting for prizes. You only really need to win 2, and you can maybe like win one, lose one, win another one, and you're basically coasting into prizes at that point. And every time you win, you also get skins as well. So even if you win just one match, you'll still get some cool skins out of it. So people are not just like fighting for nothing. In the old days, it used to be unless you got top 3, you got basically nothing. So if you're in a mid-table team, there was no real incentive to necessarily push to get the difference between 12th place and 8th place, other than pride. But just more shit. So people are going to be really going for it, much more in the last couple of years than they have been in the old days.
Yeah, which I think is why we've seen teams have just gotten so much better.
Yeah.
Like, we talk about this probably multiple times a tournament, where at some point there will be the after hours chat where it's like, well, do you think that we could take a winning team from 2010 and put them into this current tournament? And I know you and I have the same opinion. We're like, no, they would get absolutely slaughtered. And some people are like, well, yeah, but what about this historic? These guys were so good back then. And it's like, okay, cool. But nowadays, if you made it to the feeders, you've already done better than most teams ever have. Like, there's a reason why the format's this way, is so people can actually come in and play the game. So nobody who's here most likely got here without doing ever. Like, everyone here is 2-1 to make it here, or 2-0. Or
won the Alliance Tournament last year.
They won the Alliance Tournament last year.
Yeah.
So like every single team is already a more winning than losing team just to make it to tomorrow, which is really cool. So like, even if, and I kind of, like maybe like, oh, well, we want to see bad teams fighting. There's no bad teams here.
No, there really isn't. That's why I tried to avoid saying the word bad teams. I tried to say more like mid-table teams rather than bad teams.
Yeah. Okay.
Because like you're exactly right. The average quality is just superior than pretty much ever has been before. It used to be silent auction, so you could bid. So rich teams with not necessarily good players could just buy their way into the tournament, and you would see them just get 0-2'd pretty handedly by a mid-table team. And those were just boring.
For the newer viewers, before we had the current way where you have to pay a tournament fee to get into the feeders. That tournament fee was blind. You would bid, and whoever got the highest got in.
Pretty much.
Yeah. It was either that or it was actually like we drew things out of a hat. So pretty much like how they seed the feeders. There was a blind auction, which usually would be, and obviously space inflation is real, but some of them would like go for probably the equivalent of trillions now. Or you could randomly get drawn, which would still cost a decent amount of money just to enter to that, and that was, or you could win, and that was how you would get in. Now you actually have to pay a much smaller fee and win through the feeders, which means you're already good.
It acts as a sort of a barrier, in my opinion, and this is by the power invested in me. Now canon, the quality of like the top teams and the less top teams before was here, and I think what's happened over the years is it's gone like this. So the top still goes up, but the rest have caught up. So the gap between the top and the bottom, the 32nd team, as it were, is a lot narrower than it used to be. But I think the top is still higher. People are still finding new and exciting ways to really push the boundary every year, just further. And we've had some of the best matches we've ever had in the last couple of years. Last year's final was incredible. The year before, incredible. Two of the best finals I can remember. And I'm looking forward to seeing more of that this year.
So last year's winners, we had 4.
Last year's was
Wow.
Tuskers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Tuskers-
we had
Tuskers
four
won, and
people
then-
who qualified in.
Yes.
Oh, I see what you mean.
So we
top
only,
four-
there's only one.
There's only one
Okay, fine.
winner.
There's,
There's only one
there's
winner.
only one winner. It was Tuskers last year, and then there was the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th place.
Yeah, Truth on Allied,
Platinum Sensitivity,
and Rage
Quit.
Quit Cancel Sub.
Yes.
Yeah. So they get free entry into this year by virtue of being good. And then the other 28 slots go through the feeders.
Yes.
So
So by virtue of being good also means we haven't seen them in the feeders.
exactly.
True.
So they can come and surprise us. Because they
Yeah.
tend to do scrims with each other, right? To like not
Yeah.
give away
At
what they're
that
planning.
level,
That's a good question. Next question.
No. I just want to hear your thoughts on
Well,
these top 4
So
teams
we
and
don't
see what we
know,
expect.
Like, there's most likely that there's some crossover, but once you're in that like way high up, like yeah, maybe you're scrimming against other teams, but also now you're those are your main opponents too. So like, there's only so much you can do. But that's getting. I can talk about that for 3 hours if you want. I don't think you want that. So
Maybe
like,
not for 3 hours.
We can get into the weeds on ban theory and scrimming and all that. But yeah,
We'll do that on the desk.
It's possible. There's always somebody who's a major scrim partner, and you see it, and it's funny watching the looking for skirmishes or looking for scrims channel on the Discord, like super busy, and then it just kind of peters off, and then it's silent because everyone's kind
Nothing.
of like, okay, we're getting close. It's the real time. We've locked in our buddies. Everything's quiet now. We don't want to, because we don't want to show other teams what we're going to bring, because a lot of this is like a lot of it's execution once you land on grid, but a lot of it's also what you bring, and you don't know what you're going to be flying, like until maybe or flying until like maybe 30 seconds before the match starts, because obviously the viewers see this, they're like, okay, we're like yap. Okay, let's go to the match, and then you see the countdown, and you see the ships landing. Sometimes that's the first time the teams know what they're going up against. It's completely like you guys are seeing it about the same time that the people that are about to play are. So they keep everything super secret because you need to, like, they have 30 seconds to decide what to do. You don't want to tell your buddies like, hey guys, this is what we're flying, because maybe the next match is against them.
Because it has happened, right? In the
That-
past
all the
where scrim partners
Yep.
ended up in the finals in the best of 5 together.
Yep.
Try and surprise them then.
Yeah. I mean, I've played in a elimination match in an Alliance tournament against our swim partners before, in the elimination bracket. So one of the two is going out. And it was like you have to bring everything. You know this team better than any other team. You know how they're going to perform. You know they can out-execute you in some things. You can out-execute them in others. And you know it's going to be one of the hardest matches of the tournament, regardless. If it's top, like in the top bracket rather than the elimination bracket, the stakes are lower. But going up against your scrim partners in an elimination match is genuinely one of the toughest things in the tournament.
Does it make you doom spiral?
You base it off time, most of it, but yes, if you had time, you would doom spiral. Yeah. I've seen it. It's not. I mean, it's fun, obviously, but it is intense.
The other thing about going up against your scrim partner is, in any given team, usually there's some players that are maybe a little bit better at execution than others. There might be some players who are, they're good, but they have a couple of known weaknesses or like leaks or whatever. Like, oh, this person tends to overextend. This person is a little bit slow at like when they're getting chased, or they tend to panic and stuff like that. Your scrim partners know that. And one of the differences, I think, between some of these top teams and some of the sort of mid-table teams, and I think some of the thing that's driving that change that Overload's mentioning is, the top teams, they don't really have a weakest link in sort of the same way, and everyone's weakest link is just catching up at this point.
Yeah, I will say this: the ones where you're pretty sure they're practice partners against each other are always really funny to watch, because they always somebody you can tell one of the teams like they got into their own heads, and they'll bring some trash that's is bad because like you're gonna watch the tournament. There's about 70 odd matches. We're going to know certain comps are bad by the end of it. Like you'll look at it and be like, what the heck? And they'll do that into their scrim partners because they're like in this weird, like I'm countering this, is counting this, is counting this, is counting this. This is what we're picking, and then the other team like stopped right here, and it was like, yeah, we're just gonna rush you down, and then you lost. So those are always funny when you just see something you're like, I know why you did that, and it's because you're just like you're spiraling in your brain's like, how do we beat them? And then the other team's just like, oh, yeah, we decided to rush you. So rush is good, by the way.
Well, we can talk about this because you've brought up comps, and that's something I had on my list to talk about today. Because we had a rule change.
It's right there.
It is right there. We had a rule change between the feeders and the finals. Do you think that's going to change what we're seeing in the upcoming weekend compared to what we saw in the feeders weekends?
I think the number one rule change between the feeders and the finals is the same rule change that we've had every year in this recent format, which is in the feeders, you are not allowed to bring a flagship. And in the finals, you are allowed to bring a flagship. So we now have people bringing a lot of Balgorns, some Armageddon Navy issues, some Barghests in there as well, a couple of Indicators. And those are going to be very shiny, potentially very shiny ships with very nice webs. And that is going to shape the metagame quite a bit.
Yep. Also more bans. The feeders have less bans. It's a bit simpler, the banning meta. You can't ban as many things. In the main tournament now, there are bans. And obviously this also is taking place on Tranquility instead of Thunderdome. So now these losses matter. The skills of the individual pilot matter. In the feeders, everyone had perfect skills. Everyone has level 5s for everything. And everything is basically free. So it's just like, it comes down to theory crafting, execution. That's it. Now, it comes down to you have to have the ships, which means you need to afford to have enough stuff stocked up so that you can fly whatever ships you need to have. You need to have all the implants. You need to make sure that you have them and don't get them bought out from underneath you in Jita because you forgot to buy them until the last minute. So pro tip, if you're in the tournament, go buy your implants now. If you've not done it, it's probably too late.
Yeah.
You need to consider that someone might not have Spec 5 and you're going up against someone who does have Spec 5. Or someone doesn't have like electronic attack frigates 5 and things like that. Like that might become an issue. Maybe you just don't have enough pilots with the right skills to go into the right ships. It will be a changeable thing where the team that has all 5s will now mathematically do better, everything else being the same, than the team that doesn't. Like it sounds really obvious, but people sometimes forget that that's actually quite a big difference between the feeders and the main tournament. And of course, you lose everything, goes in Zed kill, and we laugh at you.
Yeah. Well, and that 2% difference can be the difference of beating a ship or not. Especially when you like start adding in like logi numbers and resistances and everything, then suddenly it's like, well, if I'm repping 4,000 damage a second and they're doing 4,001, my ship will eventually blow up. That is how math works. If I had that 2% more, now my ship's blowing up significant faster. If I had 2% less because I didn't train my skills to 5, well, now we're doing, I'm not going to try and do the math on that, but it's less damage. Less damage. I was like, yeah, no, we're not going to do the math on that. We're doing vibes, no math. We talked about this already.
This is true.
But that it can matter. Like all those little skills and stuff, which is why you'll see teams fly something, and I've seen it before where they flew it on the feeders, did really good with it, came back and flew it on the real thing, and the damage output is less. And it's just because it's like, well, your feeder character, your Thunderdome character had all 5s. Yours is like, well, maybe I have Spec 3 and something. Or the other thing that really actually messes with is your comps get limited because there's a lot of weird skills that people maybe won't have. Like who has heavy interdiction cruisers 5? Okay, not of you guys. I do.
I don't.
But no, that's what my point is. Like, let's say that's a ship that you decide to bring. Maybe that'll affect something. Like electronic attack frigate's a really good one that a lot of people don't train up unless you're tournament pilots or small gang. So things like that can really affect stuff. So comp-wise, maybe you'll see something a little different. You'll see people trying to force stuff that maybe they don't have the skills for. The big changes too, like the band's huge. We're doing alternating bands this year for the first time.
Yep.
So more like every other e-sport, electronic sports in the world where you pick a band, then they pick a band, and you can actually psych each other out over that, which is super cool.
And we can see it. We should be able to see it live on stream as well as the band is happening.
It also has the times of how long people take to pick.
You can see how you can picture them like going or depending on what you if it's your team or not.
I like the ones where it's like instant bans, and then you see the one where they took 5 minutes. To think. They're like, they're sitting there like,
they didn't expect that band.
The best part is being on Discord for that and hearing like No. But what if they bring, no, we have to ban this. No, you can't ban that because we have that in these 5. And it's just like 10 people all yapping at once.
So, that changes things a lot. Flagships is huge.
Yep.
The resist changes.
And don't forget, obviously, because it's on TQ and because of Crimson Harvest, there's a 90% loot drop. Chances are, if the flagship dies, a lot of the expensive modules will drop.
Don't forget, we also have an implant drop this year.
And implants. But you can go out. I mean, you shouldn't be podding the last term anyway, it's technically against the rules. But sometimes smart bombs do exist.
Yep.
Or
but,
boundaries.
Yeah, true. But if you are flying a Balgorn and you're maybe like more of an upstart alliance, you don't have like the funds of some of the big boys to throw out like an 80 bill web. So you've gone for a pretty respectable 4 billion-esque web. And then you fight someone and they lose their flagship Balgorn and they have like a 25 billion-esque web. Suddenly, you either can have 25 billion in cash or a 25 billion-esque web on your flagship. So you can upgrade. It's like playing, I don't know, like Daisy or something like that, where you like upgrade your parts as you go along. Like, oh, kill this guy, take his better scope, put it on here. It's basically, that's flagships.
It becomes a gathering game here.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's really fun.
Yeah, and please don't have poor fit flagships. They make me sad. Yeah. If you're gonna do it, spend the money. Like, a win gives you skins. Those skins, especially if you try and instantly sell them, like some of the ones that I have from like 3-4 years ago are like 10 billion a piece right now. Yeah. So just think of it as a long-term investment. Spend a little bit of money, get a cool fit flagship, or we're going to haze you. Yeah,
unless they do this, but then lose all their matches and the flagship, and then you're really kind of...
Then you're really sad.
Really sad.
And if you're going to fly your flagship...
I mean, they've already won matches in the feeders to get here, so they'll have some money.
Yeah. And also, I'm going to give some free advice. Ban Cenotaph if you're bringing your flagship. You're welcome.
Yes. Okay, I agree with
When
that.
you don't do this, I'm going to laugh at you now. Like, I'm going to be like, you should have done it. Like, I told you to do it.
I can imagine some flagship comps that might be trying to attempt we're going to kite and control the Cenotaph.
Yeah, maybe
like I'm staring at a Barghest flag here for it worked in testing. We'll see them.
We'll see.
Match number 4 up first off the gate.
Yeah, I mean, I think so. Here's another prediction for you. I think the Cenotaph is going to be either the top ban or one of the top bans. I think things like the Armageddon Navy issue, and the Cenotaph, and probably like just our standard like Tech 2 logistics cruisers, especially in armor. I think those are going to be our top bans this year.
So with these bans in mind, what comps do we have left? What can we expect people to bring?
Well, funny you should ask that, CCP Lumi, but we could bring a drone comp.
No, really?
Yeah.
Truly?
But what is that? I don't know what a drone comp is.
Neither do I. Someone please explain it to me.
This guy.
Hi everyone, I'm CCP Overload, and let's talk about drone comps in the Alliance Tournament. In the tournament setting, few weapon systems can rival drones in terms of tactical flexibility. A high number of drone bonus ships and the unique tactics they enable make comps relying on them a staple in almost every tournament format. Drones can operate independently of their mothership, which allows them to safely project damage over great distances and easily adapt to opposing team compositions. Using drones as the primary weapon system opens up a lot of fitting options, as they are not using any weapon slots and require only a few key modules, like drone damage amplifiers for more firepower, or drone link augmenters to extend their reach. Due to the significant number of ships which receive a bonus to drones, it is also almost impossible to ban drone comps completely. One can only hope to weaken it by targeting the most efficient ships like the EOS, Dominix, or Alligator. A seasoned team, when gearing up for a match, will always consider the possibility of facing either the slippery, kiting, medium drone-based Florida Man composition, so named due to its abundance of alligators, devastating sentry drone long-range damage compositions, or brutal close-quarter fights when facing heavy drone swarms paired with ample E-War, engine neutralizers, and a heavy armor tank. Despite having many strong capabilities, drone comps are not without weaknesses. Unlike other weapon systems, drones can be targeted and destroyed. Sometimes teams will prioritize destroying their opponent's drones to reduce the incoming damage, rather than targeting the opposing fleet directly. This is referred to as defanging. On average, drones also have lower damage per second than other weapon systems. This means that target calling has to be well thought out, as most drones need to travel to their target before applying damage. Savvy pilots will recognize when a swarm has targeted them and reposition accordingly, often to draw the swarm away from allied ships. To sum up, drone comps offer a great amount of versatility and combat power, but have particular weaknesses which can be exploited. Teams that master the drone comp can be truly formidable in the arena.
All right. CCP Overload. I believe you know the fella that we just showed on screen. Can you please explain a little about what this video was and why we have it?
Well, that handsome fellow is in fact CCP Overload. And we filmed a bunch of these things. So a lot of people out there come and watch the Alliance Tournament for the first time. And they go, what in God's name is this?
It is me.
It's so complicated, there's so much. And sometimes it's nice to be able to take some of these core concepts that you'll hear all the time, drone comps, armor control, rush, things like that, and explain them a bit better. And we can be a bit guilty in the rest of not explaining it continuously because we just can't spend the whole time explaining everything. So we've made a bunch of videos that kind of go over some of the main archetypes, some of the main comps, and kind of trying to explain it. And we were able to use the pieces from the new Evenline board game as well, by the way, which is pretty cool. I see posts on Reddit that people are getting theirs arriving. I'm still waiting for mine. But yeah, that's what they are, and I think they're pretty nice. It turned out super well.
Well, we're using them this weekend.
That's the plan, and I think we'll also put them on YouTube. I suppose CCP Convict. He's giving me a thumbs up. Okay, so yeah, probably put them on YouTube, and then that way you can link them to each other rather than have to wait for us to play it again. Someone's like, "But what is a drone comp?" You go, see,
We have this.
pay attention. Class is in session. Yeah.
All right, Ali, while we were watching the video, you mentioned Raven Navies.
Yeah, so owing to the Caldari sponsor for this year's tournament, we have a discounted point cost on the Raven Navy issue, which has gone into a perennial archetype, Rush. As Black Bart Pirate said, Rush is good this year. The point of Rush is simply that you have ships, they do a lot of damage, they do a lot of close range damage, you rush onto the opponents and deliver the close range damage directly to the hulls. Torpedoes make a very big number on Pyfa, and we've seen... Yeah, it is quite large, and we've seen in the tournament in the feeders people attempting to do torpedoes in a rush comp. I think we will continue to see people attempt to do that. I was doing some math. I know it's forbidden, but I was doing some math yesterday, and it's quite good as long as you invest in application. So if you have some target painters, you can get full torpedo application, full big number. No target painters, number small.
I do remember one of the feeder matches, in fact, where someone brought a torpedo rush, I think, and they only had maybe one hyena, and they went up against a comp that had mostly cruisers and down, like relatively small ships, which is the worst possible scenario. And then they got their hyena alpha in like 8 seconds. I was like, oh, well, that's it. Game over for them. They ain't hitting anything.
Yeah, it's actually one of the ways you can tell if somebody has a good comp or a bad comp is looking at how many potential painters and webs they have. Obviously, you can put a painter on every ship, but multiplicative bonuses are really, really nice. Not going to explain that because that's math, but the vibes are better. So
makes bigger number, right?
Yeah, it does make bigger number, and it makes bigger number faster and makes bigger number better with diminishing returns. So, yeah, that's one of the ways I look at it. If I'm looking at a comp, I'm like, is this any good or not? I'll be like, well, it can't apply unless it has painters and webs, and I don't see any painters or webs. So, yeah, I know some people are like, well, I put a web on my Raven Navy. I'm like, okay.
Cool.
Like how fast your battleship? I mean, it's a shield battleship. They go pretty quick.
Goes about 2,000 with links.
And there you go. See, that was a math. You knew that.
This is why we have Ali. Ali does maths.
No math. But yeah, so that's the thing is if you put enough paints and webs on something, you can apply with anything. And we'll see that when we see Typhoons come out, which will happen. Prediction.
I like predictions.
There you go. Yep.
I want another one from you. We've heard drones. We've heard Rush. What other comp are we going to see this weekend?
So, I mean, I have a list, but it's not up here. It's in my phone, which is hidden.
As it should.
I'm
just looking at Twitch chat. That's different.
Twitch chat. I'm reading.
I'm working.
Yeah, we're gonna see variations of Rush. We're gonna see variations of drones. Dommy drones is really good. Some people don't agree with me on that, but that's okay.
We won the Alliance Tournament.
It won the Alliance Tournament.
So has to be good.
Won in almost every single feeder match. So just throwing that out there. So armor is going to be very powerful this year, and it's because of just general game balance changes that happened. When armor is powerful, people really start leaning into nuke control, ECM control, and stuff like that. Because you can do it with shield, but it's a lot harder. Yes. So I think we're going to see basically an overwhelming amount of armor comps this year. The shield ones we're going to see are like rush comps. Somebody's going to try to do an HML kite. I don't think that's a good idea in a world of flag Balgorns. But hey, you know what? You do you, little heroes.
A little explainer. Why is it bad for Balgorns?
Balgorns have very long webs. Flag Balgorns have very, very long webs. A Tobias flag Balgorn web is
68 kilometers,
There you
heated
go.
and with links.
Yeah. So if you think about warpins, a Tobias Flag Balgorn can get you on the start of a match.
Because you can't be further than
You can't
50
be
away.
far- yeah. Like, technically you can with a little bit, but you can't be farther than like 63 or 64 away just because of how triangles and 3Ds
Dangerously
work.
close to
I
math
know,
there.
okay.
Oh no.
Flag Balgorn, good. Web far. There you go.
Bad against Kite because Kite can't move.
Kite will have trouble getting away from you.
Yes.
So, yeah, we're going to see a lot of armor. There's a couple shield setups that'll work pretty well, but I think that it's not going to be like the last couple years where we've seen a lot of HML Kite of various things. Obviously, we've seen people do HML Kite with armor, Tuskers, but at the end of the day, it's still kind of a shield the way people think of it. You understand what I'm saying. You're making faces, but you get like, the twisty brain is twisting correctly. Yeah, lots of armor control, ECM.
I'd be interested to see how many people try and like fit like Cenotaph into some of these comps as well, because if it's unbanned, it is quite powerful. I think we'll see the Crush, the Ceno Rush, alongside the regular Rush, and also the Gush, the Gun Rush.
Yep.
All the variant of Gush.
Ushes.
Yes, all the Ushes.
All the ushers.
But I think the Cenotaph is going to throw a real stick into the spokes of some of these comps that teams are bringing, because they're going to leave it unbanned, assuming that the other side is going to bring it or ban it, and then it's going to be unbanned, and then they're going to be like, okay, so we wanted to bring this armor control comp. We do have a variation with the Cenotaph. Do we bring it? Do we not? Do we swap it out? How's that going to affect us? If we bring our Flag Balgorn and we don't ban a Cenotaph, then, playing risky business.
My the first time I saw the rules and the Cenotaph and how it was done is my first prediction. Now, this is when it had 3 low slots, not 2. So I was like, somebody's going to do an ECM comp with like 1 Cenotaph. And that's they're gonna have a single Xeno as their only ship that does DPS, and every other ship is gonna be like ECM or Newts or something, and they're just gonna shut everything down. And then you took a low slot away, and it's like, well, you could still do it, but you've drastically reduced the survivability. So I think it'd be really cool if somebody brings that out. I do think people are gonna try some like really weird ECM like Widow stuff. Somebody's gonna bring an ECM Xeno comp, just because like they have to. I hope so
funny.
too. I want to see it.
Especially if it
works,
fails badly.
Yeah, if it either fails horribly or it works, that's perfect. Like either way. If it just kind of like it almost makes it, it's like that's boring. I don't want to see that.
Yeah. I mean, the Xeno made us have to do some pretty significant updates to the tournament tool itself just to support it, because first of all, obviously we wanted to show, but historically when the match ends, like basically everything stops, and but damage can keep going. Missiles in flight is a common thing you'll hear in like scrims when someone's like white flag to stop because they don't want to refit their ship, and everyone's like missiles in flight. They
Sorry.
blow it up anyway. Yeah. But the Xeno, of course, the match can end and it can keep taking damage, and if you've got a flagship and it's taking Xeno damage after the match, you don't want to lose it because first of all, it'd be hard to get it back, but second of all, you don't want people to see the fit and things like that. That's important. So we had to make it so that as soon as the match ends, like everyone gets healed. Like you actually get healed to stop the Xeno from just screwing the pooch.
Shout out to the team that has made the tool for us and made this update happen.
Yep. I've actually got a bunch of tournament ships that I've flown in matches. When we get teleported out, I just park them in the museum hangar and they stay there. I never like repair them. Never. So like if I jump into them, they start like bursting in flames because most of them are like hull. And I'm like, yes, I remember this. And like this fire crews are running out trying to put it out, and then I was like, okay, don't repair it, and then go leave it for another like couple of years and look at it again.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Yeah, no, we'll see some stuff.
With all this in mind, we're definitely going to see some stuff.
Yeah.
Stuff. Yeah.
I'm going to keep talking about predictions because over on Challenge, we are running a competition on predictions.
True, we are.
Who has the biggest brain of them all and who can predict all the matches, right?
Well, they told me I wasn't allowed to predict because I've already seen the script and it would be cheating.
Yes.
But those of you who do predict, you can win this.
Explain this.
It's a box.
It is a big box, but what is in the big box?
Well, hopefully a graphics card, but I haven't opened it to check, so we can only assume. But it is a Mercury class XFX Radeon RX 9070 XT.
Whoever gets the highest points in the prediction ranking list wins this.
Look,
Don't drop it.
nice graphics
Don't
card.
drop it. Very pretty.
There you go.
Now put it down. Thank you.
What if there's a tie?
Put it this way because then it's lit up.
There is tiebreakers included.
Oh, so we're not giving out multiple.
Challenge does
They get
this.
half a graphics card each.
Yeah. So what you're saying is we can't collude and get multiple.
No, there is only one, and it is this one.
Okay.
There will be more prizes though, because I think the top 10 receives prizes,
Yep.
and we have random prizes for those as a participation prize. So even if you think you don't have the brain wrinkles to make all the correct predictions, you could still win.
I should probably fill that out.
You should.
It's important that
But
there's
we can't, but you can.
yeah. And theoretically, we should have some of the best predictions of all, having paid close attention to all of the matches throughout.
Yeah.
You would think so.
How did that go again?
I do believe we have someone who's going to keep track of predictions this year from the casting crew, so we can see who truly is the wrinkliest of brains.
We should do that and just free beer for the caster who succeeds.
Thoughts. We will think about it.
Yeah, we'll think about it. Yeah.
Mm.
We'll fill that out tonight.
Okay.
I will check this with you in the
At a
morning.
bookstore, perhaps.
Mhm.
All right. I think with that, we can call it here, and we just full excitement wait for tomorrow, 2 p.m. Tomorrow at 2 p.m., the first match starts. It will be Tuskers, the last year's winners, versus Deteriorated. And I think you should all be there to see it.
I agree.
It'll be great. It'll be
Say it.
myself and Novatera Ren on commentary.
Yep. I think I'm going to be there.
I presume I'll be there. I haven't
You-
checked.
you'll be there.
You're on the desk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just assumed I would be. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't bother looking at the
Yeah.
schedule.
I know what time I need to be here tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
what
I
matters.
appreciate that I put so much effort in, and you're like, eh.
No, you'll definitely be there. I think I'm also there. I think it's you, me, and somebody else.
Okay, cool.
I might be wrong.
I know the Bisty show is going to
Bisty
be.
show.
The Bisty show is not the first match,
No,
though.
It's not the
it
first
will
match,
be-
but it is the first day.
I think
it
it
will be
is
tomorrow.
you and Tharond,
That
if
sounds
I
right.
am
Yeah.
correct.
Oh yes, Theranth Valarax is joining us for the first time.
Yeah.
Yes.
I used to fly with him in the Volta team. We have basically a Volta desk at this
Yeah.
point because
Yeah.
myself, Starfleet Commander, Theranth, and Mystical all flew together in Alliance Tournament in the Volta team for multiple years.
I
so-
may have done a little thing on Saturday where you will see a Volta desk.
Nice.
Minus Misty, though. Because
Well-
there's only 3 people on desk.
But that's the Volta special. You just have the fourth. Like,
Counting.
counting is not our strong point.
Yeah.
This is true. Possibly. We'll see. Any closing remarks? Besides, be there tomorrow.
Be there tomorrow.
Be there tomorrow.
Enjoy the explosions.
Yeah.
Come if you enjoy
Goods.
watching this. Yeah, if you enjoy watching this, come play in future tournaments. Anger Games 7 confirmed.
Yes, confirmed.
I think he actually did confirm it.
He did.
It is
yeah.
confirmed.
Yeah, but Anger Games 8, he's told me, is also confirmed.
Ah, there it is.
Ooh.
So there are other.
Yes.
If you get the tournaments bug, please do jump in. The water's fine.
There is a tournament channel over on the official EVE Online website where you will find information on this.
Yeah.
Check it out.
See you tomorrow.
And
See
with
you
that,
later.
see you tomorrow.